Hello, girls. I'm just trying to center myself. My chair has wheels, so when it like moves, I go forward to turn it on, and then when I go back, sometimes it just moves a little bit further than I planned. So, hello. Happy Friday, and I hope that you are having a happy Friday. I'm looking at myself. I almost did not come on live. I really wanted to talk with you, but I refused to spend any more time on my face. If you read my post today, you know that I really wasn't feeling well. I am now. I'm feeling much better, but just very like drained, like a lot. You know, if any of you have had migraines, you know, like really kind of like it kind of zaps out the energy. So I do have mascara on. I said that in my picture, but I wasn't going to put more. But I knew that I would love you guys no matter what you look like. So I'm hoping the same for me. I actually still have my pajama pants on that I had on this morning, but I did put on a different shirt. You can see that. But I wanted to jump in and share with you while I was still in the energy from yesterday and share a few things that had happened to me prior to going yesterday to see Gabby, during, and then now when I'm clear and I can really kind of mull them over, because today was a little bit of a washout, like just it was gone. But now I've got so much thinking and I'm kind of waking up. The rest of the world is going to sleep. So I want to go back and kind of rewind you guys before I actually went to see Gabby. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, just look at a couple posts, scroll up, and you'll see. And I love her work. I love her as a spiritual coach, and I have all plans. It's on my vision board, and I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to take her course that she offers once a year. It's in June in New York City, so that's exciting because it's close for me. I could go back and forth, and I'm going. Like this is my year. I feel it. I know it. In fact, a friend of mine had asked me, why don't I just buy her? She had like a computer course you could buy, and I said, I feel like I'm supposed to be in her presence. I'm supposed to feel her energy. I'm supposed to be there, wherever there is, not on the other side of the computer, which I'm all for courses like that, but I felt like it. And yesterday was proof. It was proof that that's what it was supposed to feel like. And if any of you ever have a chance to go to something, not just for Gabby, but for anyone else that you feel connected with, I can't explain the feeling, the energy, the vibe that was in that room. To have so many of us feel the same way in one room, it was amazing. It just felt right. I don't know how else to explain it. So, aw, thank you. So I'm going to go back and rewind. And when I saw that she was going to be in New York City, so close to an event that I could actually, even afford, I didn't have to think about it. I'm like, oh, absolutely. It was $32 for a ticket, which to me also was amazing, because with that you got a whole box that when you saw the price on the back, it was $18.99. So for $32 you got the box of cards. She had food. She gave out, aw, thanks, Tia. Oh, I can't wait. When I'm finished here, I'm going to go look at your stuff, because now that's going to be like my shopping awake time. Thank you. What was I going to say? Oh, she had wine. She had food, she had for everyone, and they were handing it out. Now, I'm telling you, $32, New York City, it was just this welcoming feeling that kind of like enveloped you in the best kind of like warm scarf or, sweater. It was awesome. Well, I didn't know that I was going to get that when I went, but I couldn't even, $32, nothing. So before I purchased the ticket, I had called my BFF, and if you're watching, Leslie, I asked you if you wanted to come, and she couldn't. She had a field hockey game for her daughter, so I knew she couldn't go, and I don't know why, but I was pulled to still buy 2 tickets. So I bought 2, with no other reason, but I felt it, and I'm getting better at just following and listening to it. Oh, no, it does not sound strange, because that's how I felt when I watched people before I could sign. So not at all, Tia. But thank you. So I bought 2 tickets. I had no reason to, but bought them. And inside somewhere, I felt like I was supposed to bring my daughter. And for whatever reason, I kind of pushed that aside. And thank you. And I said, no, I think it's supposed to be like a girls' night. I'm supposed to be with a girl. I mean, like my age, like we could chat it up and have a good night in New York City. So I pushed that aside, that inviting my daughter. And I invited a friend. Actually, even before I invited a friend, I connected with a gal who's in here, Heather, and she lives only a town away, which was amazing to me. And we kind of met up in another group, Sarah Dan, and she's a business coach. And we kind of met up through there. And then we kept chatting, never met her in person, but felt that same vibe. And she bought a ticket with nobody to go with. And I was like, oh my gosh, we need to go together. Yes, so we planned for it. And unfortunately, about 3 days before going, she had, her best friend had lost her son. Very sad, tragedy. And she needed to go to the service that night. And so she contacted me feeling terrible. She's telling me she felt bad that she couldn't come with me. I'm like, oh my goodness. No way, I feel so bad for you. So we chatted for a while. She felt better. And I just knew that I was going with my other friend. In the meantime, I forgot, sorry. I did ask another person and she said yes. And I was excited too because she wanted to go. I enjoyed my time with her. She was actually my first coach that I ever had as working with Beachbody. So we had all plans on going, and like the day before, she contacted me and she was so sick. I mean, really, like sinus infection sick. I see her at school. I felt so bad for her. She felt terrible because she couldn't go. And then I got scared. Here's where I let that fear take over, because she knew New York well. She was going to drive in. I felt comfortable. I'm like, oh, good. One thing, I love New York, but I'm not the most comfortable. Like I did not exactly grow up city like. So I started getting worried. I'm like, oh, how am I going to do this? And I said, stop, Jen, seriously. You want to go, you feel like it's a draw, you're excited, let your excitement stay. So I let go of that, and I knew that I would figure out a way I could do it myself. I mean, I flew to Kentucky and back last year, actually this weekend, which was awesome, for a team type of activity, not meeting, but fun time. I'm like, I can do this. So then I went back to, again, you're supposed to ask your daughter. I'm like, oh, okay. So I woke her up that morning 2 days ago and I said, Ashlyn, do you want to go with Mom? You want to go with me to New York? I have this thing, and I know it's not really your thing, but I feel like I want you to come. You're supposed to come. And she's like, okay, Mom, I'll come with you. Thank you. I'll come. I was like, okay. And I felt better. I felt like I had followed what was guiding me in the first place that I pushed off. Remember I said I kind of put that away. I'm like, no, I'm going to do what I want to do. Well, I don't even know what I want to do is. So I asked her, she got excited. We planned the day. I picked her up from school and she got changed into a dress she wanted to, and we headed out. And a few things happened yesterday. That's why I called it my mini miracles. Actually, they're not even mini. They were fabulous. Aside from feeling phenomenal in this group of women and being surrounded by these women and this vibe and this energy and this goodness, a few other things happened. When we were there, I stopped myself from many old ways, one of which is I always had very high anxiety. And going into a room, I would get this feeling of panic. I don't know why, but I always did, even back from college. And so when we were walking in, you could see like there were seats and places to sit, and I usually like block off, and I just shut down because I get nervous, like, where am I going to sit? I know it sounds strange, but that's me. Where am I going to sit? Where do I go? I get overwhelmed and I can't see what's actually right in front of me. And as we started to walk in, I'm talking to myself. I'm like, stop, Jen, stop. You're here where you want to be. Be present here. There's nothing to have fear over. And I stopped, and when I did, we saw these like seats. If you've seen any of the pictures I took, almost right in front, I had like the best seat. We both squished in and sat down together on this really nice soft cushion, and I kept sitting there thinking, gosh, I cannot believe I have such a great place to sit. And it was because I did not shut down and close myself off. Because I looked and there was tons of seats, but they went so far back. I'm like, I would have been willing to just go back there and not even look because of my fear. And stopping myself from that old behavior, that old way, gave me this gift, this fantastic gift. And as I sat and watched, it was just amazing. We had like a meditation, which brought up a lot of things that brought me to where I was today with that pain, but a good thing. And I just had this bird's eye view. I could see her, and I felt, strangely enough, I felt like as she was looking around and talking, we continued to make eye contact. And at the end, my daughter said, "Did you see? She kept looking. She was looking at you, Mom." I'm like, "You saw that?" I mean, not that it matters, but I felt that. I felt that. And at one point, she was asking questions of people, and I felt like, am I supposed to say something? Should I raise my hand? Do I have a question? Do I? And I sat back with total comfort that no, I didn't need to say anything. I didn't need to be heard. I needed to be present. That's what I needed to be. And there was nothing more. So I was able to enjoy people asking questions and answering and taking it all in and being there with my daughter, who was the only teen there. And I felt good that she was there. And this is why. Many times I feel like she doesn't really understand what I'm about. You know, she feels like I'm always trying to find the best in a situation or explain it, or and that's hard for her. She's like, "Mom, why do you have to always look at every side?" Gabby Bernstein, she wrote "The Universe Has Your Back." I don't have any of their stuff. I don't have any of her books down here. She has quite a few books, and she's a spiritual or spiritual life coach, which is what I'm doing. And so it's just, I actually became aligned with her because of my coach, and what I was doing for the last 3 years kind of led me, which is my huge belief, to her and her practice and what she does, which has led me to more and more and more. So if you haven't read that book, it's fantastic. Tia, you would love it. Honestly, I know from the small things that you've shared about yourself and your own anxiety and how, and just, I know you would love it. So if you haven't read it, it is like, there's so many by her, but you would love it. So at the end, we went to go line up. So it finished. Aw, no question. No question, Tia. Oh my God, this has just been like a day, a night, a day. Like you can see me, I get all like emotional, honestly. And you're gonna see even more when I'm finished. Like right now, I'm getting to two things that just touched my heart yesterday. You can see my nose gets. I'm not a pretty crier. Some women are like these beautiful criers. I'm not. Like my nose goes like boop. I'm like Rudolph, like immediately. I can't hide it. You know when I'm crying, like immediately. So we finished, and we're standing in line to get, I see all like the laughy face. We're standing in line to get an autograph of, we get the box of cards, and if you had a book. And actually I bought another book. It was one book I didn't have of hers, which is called Spirit Junkie. And it was on sale for $10 there. You'd think they could like charge you so much more because you're there, but it was only $10. I'm like, oh my gosh. And it was a $25 book, hardcover book. I'm like, I've got it. So she signed that, and she signed my daughter's box of cards, and we got our picture with her. But as we're standing in line, my daughter says to me, "Mom, I've never seen so many yous." I go, "What do you mean so many me's?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" She goes, "You have your own like style." I'm like, "I do?" She's like, "Yeah, like you're like flowy." Like, she goes, "You have your own style. It's not like other people." I'm like, "Well, it must be like somebody." But she goes, I looked around. She goes, "They were all like you." And they were not all dressed like me. But what was happening is that she felt it. And I was like, she felt what I had been trying to kind of like explain to her, what I do and who is in here, and these 400 women, like as of today, 424 women strong. And she was like, "Oh, that's nice." But she felt it, and she got it. So that was the first thing. I'm like, the second thing, there's actually 3. Sorry, Tia. But they're happy tears, right? So I don't care, you guys, you won't judge me. So the second thing she says to me is, Mom, and this one really hit me. Mom, I've never seen you so happy doing something for yourself. I can't say it without, I can't say it without wanting to cry. I said, what do you mean? And I did see, because she was sitting to the right of me, and I was looking, and I had a bird's eye view of Gabby, and she was sitting there, and I felt like she was watching me, not always watching Gabby. And I'm like, well, maybe because she wasn't that interested in it. No, because she was watching me, and I didn't even realize it. She goes, Mom, you were smiling the whole time. She goes, I've never seen you so happy doing something for yourself. And I didn't know if I should feel bad about that or good about that. I mean, definitely good, but I'm like, do I not do anything for myself? I mean, I don't know, but I was happy. Thank you. I was happy that she could see that. And I want that for her, for my teen who gets, surly and 14-year-old-ish. And, you remember like hormones and, emotions, and they go like this. Well, I don't know. Might go like that too. But you know what I mean. And she was so happy to see me like that. And that meant the world to me, that she could see it. She saw what I do, like what I do with all of you, what you do for all of you do for me, and that she could be part of that. And I looked around and she said, Mom, I'm the only teen here. I'm like, I know, but you are supposed to be here for so many reasons. And I almost did not listen. I almost did not let go, because I still like to have control. Let go and listen to the voice or the feeling. And we have it. You have it. I have it. We tend to push it away and not listen. And I'm so glad that the universe continued to send me the message that you're supposed to bring your daughter. Now, there was one more thing before we left, and that one was for my daughter specifically. She dances, and all you know that you're here, she dances. And last year, for a few different reasons, we had to stop competition for her. She wanted it also because she enjoys school and wanted to be involved in school more. But we needed to also to make some good choices. We owed a lot of money to the school that, if any of you are in dance or competitions for your kids, it's expensive. And so I wanted to be able to be smart. My son is almost finished with school, going off to college soon. My daughter wanted to do things, so I'm like, okay, we have to make some compromises. And that was the decision. So she had a lot less dancing last year, and I felt a lot of guilt for that. She felt bad. And when she was not involved in the dance group, if you want to say, it kind of changed the dynamics, the group of the girls that she was with. And she kind of got pushed on the outside of the circle. And I always felt bad for her. And one of her teachers, which she loved, she never really got to see much anymore. She didn't really have a closure on leaving the school. And now this year she's not there at all because she was accepted into her high school that she has dance in. And that's her major, if you want to say. So it's been fabulous. Everything happened the way it was supposed to. But this was one thing. So here's the reason why I'm saying this. This one teacher no longer works at her old dance school. And she has a company in New York City. So as we were walking down, when we first got there, she said to me, oh, I wonder where, this teacher has her company, the dance company. I'm like, I don't know. And so it was on her mind. We finished my Gabby, group presentation. And I said, I really want to hit the bathroom one more time. She's like, oh, Mom, I want to look around the store. I'm like, I'm really sorry, hon. So we stood in line. We waited for the bathroom, each of us, and then we left. And by the time we got back out, the store itself was closed. You couldn't go shopping and looking around. She had these bracelets that she wanted to look at. I'm like, I'm sorry, hon, because the security said, no, sorry, we're closed. I'm like, okay. And she was kind of disappointed a little bit. I'm like, I'm sorry. She goes, oh, it's okay. I said, I'm sorry. She said, it's okay, Mom. my signs are getting away from me. So we both walk out, open the door, step out, and the second that we step out, who comes by? Her old dance teacher. And I looked at her, and she looked at me, and I said, oh my God. And she looked at me, you know when you see someone not in the regular place, like not in the regular dance school or location where you're supposed to be. She was a little off at first. And then she was like, oh my God. And she's hugging my daughter, Ashlyn. She's hugging me. We're talking. We're catching up. That was one of my daughter's gifts. It was a closure. She has not stopped talking about it, how important it was to her. And I said to her, do you understand? Do you know the magnitude of what you brought into your life tonight? Not just me. I brought you here and I was supposed to. I almost didn't. But you brought that, because so many times as a teen, she's closed off and she's hurt and she's feeling and she can't really connect with her own emotions. But I saw her yesterday open and light, and I said, you know that feeling that you have, that openness that I try for, you had tonight. And she went like this. She knew exactly what I was talking about. There was no pain. There was no, you know, that angst that you have as a teen so much. That was all cleared out. And she was part of my world that I try for without a force. And I said, look what you brought to yourself. Look at what you manifested in your life tonight. And she kept saying, Mom, if we hadn't whatever, and if we didn't go back online for the bathroom, and if the store wasn't closed, and it was, I said, there was no accidents. It was one after another, after another, after another, that brought us to that second to open the door and step out in New York City and bump into this person, this woman that you needed closure with, that brought you love. Even this morning, she said she saw that her teacher had posted how great it was to see her yesterday, and that's all she needed. I mean, most of the time, that's all we all need, is like a closure sometimes. And sometimes that's hard when we don't have that. And it took a year. It took a year, but she got it. And so yesterday, there was many, many miracles. And I just wanted to share them all with you, because that is my belief. And it's not like the parting of the seas and, you know, someone, you know, rising from the dead, you know, like we're talking about Bible type of things. It's daily. It's being able to change a mindset that was old. And for me, I had one even before. I got so sad in the morning when I knew nobody was going with me. And I actually shed a couple tears. I was like, well, this is so important. I'm not going. Well, I didn't say not going, but everything's a mess. And I went in a second, almost went back to my old ways of poor, poor me. Poor, poor Jen. Everything happened. And I stopped myself. And I'm like, really? Have I not outgrown that a long time ago? Stop. Go back to the excitement you have about going, and you are going to make it happen. And that was my first miracle, like the day before going. And I felt like it was one after another ever since. Yes, exactly. Opening your heart, opening your mind, because your eyes, look, even me, I said going into that room, I couldn't see at first. I was almost blinded because of my fear of not seeing like seats that were open. I mean, I know it sounds strange, but that's actually important too, that's been me. Like my fear takes over, and then I can't see. I can't see literally. I mean, I don't go blind, but I can't see what's right in front of me. And I stop myself, and exactly, Tia, what you're saying, opened my eyes, opened my heart and mind, and stopped that fear from leading me and being part of it. Yeah, I know, Tia, you get it. I swear, being here, like so many of us, we share that same vibe, that understanding, which is flippin' phenomenal, because knowing that we can change it, it's not ours to own, it's ours to give away if we want. Even before we went in, I mean, this is something different entirely, but we were sitting outside, and she wanted something to eat, and we're sitting there, and there was a woman, a homeless woman, who was walking around, and I knew very well, I could smell that she had alcohol in her breath and whatever. She was asking people for like $1, you know, just to get something to drink. I was drawn. I've never actually done this in New York, really. In many places that we've gone, I was drawn to just open my pocketbook and without question and say, oh, is she going to use this for what, for an actual drink, or is she going to buy more? It wasn't my place to ask, and I just handed her $10. And Ashlyn looked at me. She just handed her $10. I'm like, I know, but I'm getting good at listening and like listening, like what you're saying, to your heart. Your mind doesn't always, but it's just opening up and listening. And without, oh my God, I need that $10. No, I already was in that feeling of abundance yesterday, and I'm like, I'm gonna stay there, because when we live in abundance is when we get more and more, and sometimes that means giving away to get more. It's a circle, and it doesn't feel like, oh, I needed that now, what am I gonna do? It never came into my head, which is really, I can honestly say, the first time. Not to say I'm not a giving person, but it was a great feeling. Like when I handed that over, I sat and had gratitude for feeling like I could just give without questioning. Hold me back from hearing and seeing, but when I can relax. Yes. Do you meditate? Because it's new for me, and I am truly enjoying it. I follow it. If you don't, like, I really have had a hard time in the past. I can't just sit in quiet. My head is like the dog from Up. You know that movie where you're like, squirrel, squirrel. Like I mean, I'm pretty focused, but when that comes to that quiet part, I don't do well with it. But Gabby, I'll send you the link. She has tons on YouTube that I can follow that actually teach me something to do, like with breathing, with like mantras that you can actually say and do something like with your hands as you, and that has helped me so much, because I'm not just trying to stop thinking, which the more you try to stop thinking, well, I don't know, for me, the more I try to stop, the more I think, and then it's like, it goes like crazy. So that has been great. I got about like 12 minutes that I can do that. They say, I haven't gone up to 20 minutes yet, but they say 20 minutes of meditating is equal to 4 hours of sleep. Hello. Hello. I want that. I haven't gotten up to 20 yet, but 12 has done me great. Just simply see and hear everything. I was almost, after I True. Oh, really? That is amazing. So you want to find, like a balance somewhere in there. When we learn not to judge others and can open our hearts. Yes. Yeah. You know what, Sally? I've just started. It's called A Course in Miracles, and it's big, and there's a lot. But 3 years ago, I never would have been able to do it. It wouldn't have made sense to me, but it does right now. And actually, it's like the basis of a lot of Gabby's, I don't say teaching. She doesn't teach anyone, but her, I don't know, her books, whatever that might be. And one of the major things is it's called like oneness, like oneness, that we are not before, behind, above, below, if that makes sense. In fact, I brought that into my mind yesterday when we were sitting, and I heard people talking to her and thanking her for her books and everything that she does, which was sweet. And I would have said, that I loved your books too. But the one thing that I finally get is that as I was sitting there, we're the same. Every single one of us is the same. And if I can truly get that belief in and get it set, it changes everything. Like that judgment goes away. Because when we understand that we're not less, like I wasn't less than Gabby. So I didn't sit there going, oh my God, like with stars in my eyes. I was just excited to be with someone that I feel has like more education than me right now. But I could sit there and say, I'm no different than her. I have the ability. The same with you guys. We're all the same. I am no different. Oh, I love that. I'll put them back. That's a sign, but I like it. That's how I do it back in sign. Like, I can send them. We're no different. We are the same. You, me, and not like a foo-foo, you know, like, oh, where they say, no, really, like on a soul level. And that's why I say I'm spiritual life coach or mindset coach, because that is my belief, deep-seated, rooted belief that we are the same. And there is a oneness. I mean, these are only like our earth bodies that we kind of have to deal with and figure out how to work because we were put inside of them. But on the outside, or on the above side, before we were here, we're all the same. We finished, we're all the same again. It's only here that we feel different and separated and then put someone above or below or behind or in front of us, each other. But we're not. So when we get that, and I had that yesterday, I felt it, and I felt so grateful for it that I could look at her and not say, oh, I wish I was her. She's not me. I can't catch up to her. I knew she had more knowledge than me. I'm grateful to be like with her and to be able to share in that, and like, wow, I hope that I can continue to grow and be like that, but in my own way. But at the same time, I could sit and say, we are the same. So that's a pretty fantastic thing when we can really practice and work on that. And that, my friends, helps with anxiety. That, well, I mean, that's just fear, but anxiety, panic, that's panic. Why do I want to put an E on that? That's what's helped me, is to truly stay grounded in that and that belief, and that if I'm the same, that I have no fear of judgment of others. And that was a huge one for me, judgment of others. So there were so many awesome things. Aww. Now you're going to make me cry again, Sally. You are, seriously. I don't know, I'm like so emotional. But thank you. Thank you. And I swear, I mean, that's, I think, I don't know, it's that feeling, that openness that I cannot be grateful enough for. I've spent many years of my life, I feel like, hiding inside of me, behind fear of everything, and anxiety, and panic, and pain. Like even today, that pain that came, that massive migraine, now let me tell you, my day was a mess. I mean, my daughter never even got to school. I felt so bad because I didn't wake her up. I was just out of my mind with pain. That's been only, I'd say, my second worst ever. But I can say, without question, it was a gift and another miracle, mostly because I feel good now. But I needed that. That was my kick in the butt to move past something. And I'll tell you, you know what? I'll share it. I did not share it in the post, but if you're here with me and you're still with me, otherwise you can click off. Here's what I was trying to let go of. Last year, this weekend, I had a team retreat. I don't know what the sign is for that, but and it was in Kentucky, which was one of the hugest growing experiences of my life. I wanted to go so badly and meet some of these women in my group. And there were 7 of us, I think, maybe, I don't know, it was 7, 8, or 9. I took 2 planes to Kentucky, one of which I missed the second one. I had to wait, rented a car, and I felt like by the time I got there, it didn't even matter what happened. I was like on top of the world. I had grown and moved past so many fears and felt empowered and strong. And I hadn't even gotten to the group yet. This week, and my friend reminded me that I am above this feeling. Yeah, we are. We are. We are. And sometimes we just need that reminder that we are above it. We're past it. That fear, Sally. And so when I got there, it just even got better. The feeling I had was very much like what I had yesterday in this group. I belonged, and it was wonderful, and it was supportive. I didn't want to come home. Not that I didn't want to see my family, but it was like this overwhelming, like, I don't know, like a hug from the inside out. It was fantastic. Empowerment. It's wonderful. And that trip reminded me of the things I tell my clients, my women, when I coach, and my students, is that it's true. By facing a fear and overcoming it, it is stronger. Almost like when you break a bone and then you heal, it is better and stronger and more amazing. And that's what that trip did for me. In the last year, I've moved on. I'm still a Beachbody coach, I still support my coaches that are underneath me. But in this year, I've had a falling out with part of my team. But that was a gift too, because I found myself along the way. Most all the things I was doing, I love Beachbody and I love their exercise programs. I do them still. I love their products. But what I loved even more was my connection with women. So where at first I was hurting a lot, because I think back this weekend, last year to this year, that there are people I'm no longer friends with or connected with at all. And that has been like it's weighed heavy. And I feel like there was not a closure, and there wasn't what my daughter had gotten yesterday, I didn't have. And I tried to like work with it, and then I pushed it aside and work with it and push it aside. And I think it popped up yesterday when I was doing meditating. We had a whole group meditation with Gabby, and that popped up. I found myself, as I had my eyes closed, I had tears coming, and it came to the surface. And it was not a shock to me to be in so much pain today, because it was saying, deal with me. Let go. Move on. Surrender. I mean, if you saw that post I put of the card and the shirt, and move on. And I finally have. And I have two wonderful women that we're still connected in here, and that we were meant to actually become better friends through this. And that's what I will take away with me. And the gift of the feeling I had that weekend does not go away. Although I've had some bad things since then, I can look back and say, I want to live through that feeling, that wonderful joy. That was fantastic. Nothing changed that. It's just my thought process. But the feeling was the same. So I don't have to get stuck in the story of non-closure. I don't have to get stuck in a story of wrongs or guilt or problems, or I can make it my own. And that was my freedom today. So I just shared, since you guys were here with me and you're making me feel so good, I figure I would share with you. For me, feels cathartic. So I know that's how I call you guys girls all the time. The girls I work with, same thing. I know it's not in the story, but sometimes we need the story to get to the aha pop. That's what my coach always tells me. He's like, I know, you're just talking through it. I'm like, that's what we do as women. We kind of like talk through it. So he's like, he's patient with me as I talk my way through until I figure it out. So thank you again. Like, thank you for being here with me. Thank you for making this group. We were all called to it, not called, but like called, like we were tapped. We said, come, because I may have created it, but I would create it for nothing if you weren't here. So just as my daughter's teacher walked by at that perfect moment yesterday, so did you come to match up with me. So I am grateful. I'm grateful for each and every one of you, honestly, that you're here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So have a great night. Keep empowering yourself, and share. Always, please, if you have these like aha moments, that's what makes this group, so that others can be like, oh, I thought it was just me. Yeah, that happened to me the other day, or I was thinking that way. Whatever it might be, share it here, because that's what continues that vibe from staying alone. I mean, I love the people I work with and my teachers, but there are very few people who, like here, us 400, we get it. We share it. And so that's what we want to keep going with. Wonderful weekend, Glenn. Me too. Thank you. Thank you, Tina. Well, this was because I washed it when I got home. When I got home yesterday with all plans on going to work today. And then I was going to curl it, and that did not happen. I kind of straightened it just with the brush yesterday, and I slept on it. That's how it happened this morning. So thank you, girls. Have a wonderful weekend, and keep sharing, because it feeds my soul. All right, take care.